Penguin Random House Canada presents A House in the Mountains, The Women Who Liberated Italy from Fascism, by Caroline Moorehead. Read for you by Derek Perkins.
A note before we begin. Don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider, or go directly to www.harpercollins.com/audio/House in the Mountains. It contains a character list, chronology of events, a map, and more, and will be referred to throughout as the enhancement. The hour to resist had arrived, the hour to be men, to die like men, and to live like men. Pietro Calamandrei, Uomini e città della Resistenza, 1955. We women must now give everything to saving our homeland, our life, our bread. We too must not hesitate. We will show with our actions that we too are capable of every sacrifice. Gruppi di difesa della donna e per l'assistenza ai combattenti della libertà, July 1944. Principal characters. The four women friends. Ada Gobetti, widow of Piero Gobetti and mother of Paolo Bianca Guidetti Serra, law graduate, companion of Alberto Salmoni. Silvia Ponce, doctor, companion of Giorgio Diena and mother of Vittorio. Frida Malan, graduate in literature and sister of Roberto and Gustavo. The Staffette. Lisetta Giua, engaged to Vittorio Foa. Lucia Buetta, guide to visiting dignitaries. Matilda di Pietrantonio, renowned for kidnapping German officers. Gigliola Spinelli, procurer of weapons. Their Jewish friends. Primo Levi and his sister Anna Maria. Vanda Maestra. Luciana Nissim. Alberto Salmoni. Emanuele Artom. Vittoria Foa. Giorgio, Marisa, and Paolo Diena. The partisans. Giorgio Agosti, a Turin magistrate. Dante Livio Bianco, a Turin lawyer and his Staffetta wife Pinella. Willie Jervis, liaison with the Allies, and his wife Lucilla. Ettore Marchesini, engineer and Ada's husband. General Perotti, head of the Northern Committee of National Liberation. Ferruccio Pari, head of the military wing of the Partito d'Azione. Don Foglia, known as Don Dinamite. Giulio Bolafi, commander of the Stellina Brigade. Tancredi Galimberti, partisan commander, known as Duccio. The Fascists. Giuseppe Solaro, party secretary in Turin. Valerio Paolo Zerbino, prefect in Turin. Guido Buffarini Guidi, Minister for the Interior in the Salò Republic. Renato Ricci, head of the militia in the Salò Republic. Alessandro Pavolini, head of the new Partito Fascista Repubblicano. Chronology. 1943. The 10th of July to the 17th of August. Allied landings and conquest of Sicily. The 25th of July. Mussolini deposed, arrested, and replaced by Marshal Badoglio. The war continues on the German side. The 3rd of September. Italians sign armistice with Allies, made public on the 8th of September. The 9th of September. Allies land in Salerno. Germans begin occupation of Italy. Italy's anti-Semitic laws of 1938 enforced. Ada Gobetti starts her war diary. The 12th of September. Mussolini is rescued from the Gran Sasso by German commandos. The 23rd of September. The new Italian Social Republic is established at Salò, with Mussolini at its head. Anti-fascist leaders form clandestine Comitato di Liberazione Nazionale, Committee of National Liberation, in Rome. There are now 3 Italian governments, Badoglio's, the Roman CLN, and Mussolini's in Salò, and 2 armies, the German and the Allied. the 15th of November. First Congress of the newly constituted Fascist Party held in Verona. Jews declared enemies of the state. Arrests by fascists and Germans get underway, as do orders for the draft of young men for Salot's army and for workers for the German war industry. The Allied Control Commission set up in the liberated South. November. Gruppi di difesa della donna e per l'assistenza ai combattenti della libertà. Groups for the protection of women and assistance to fighters for freedom, GDD, set up. 1944. The 22nd of January. Allies land at Anzio, south of Rome. January to March. Devastating German spring offensive against the partisans in the north. Northern Committee of National Liberation sets up unified military command. April. A Servizio Ausiliario Femminile for women fascists is set up. The 4th of June. Rome is liberated by the Allies. The 6th of June. Normandy landings. The 3rd of August. Florence is liberated. The 15th of August. Allies land in Provence. The Germans establish a new defensive position, the Gothic Line, from La Spezia on the west coast to between Ravenna and Pesaro on the east coast. The 13th of November. General Alexander orders partisans to stand down for the winter months. Allies stall on Gothic Line. Germans embark on major campaign to crush partisans in the north. 1945. The 1st of February. Italian women get the vote. The 18th of April. General strike called across the north. The 26th of April. Insurrection in Turin. Capture of Mussolini by the partisans. The 27th of April. Germans and fascists retreat as one city after another is liberated. The 29th of April. Document of surrender by Germans and fascists in Italy, signed in Caserta, to take force on the 2nd of May. The 30th of April. First Allied soldiers reach Turin. The 7th of May. Germany surrenders to Allies. The 21st of June. Ferruccio Pari sworn in as first post-war Prime Minister. The 8th of December. The Pari government falls. 1946. The 2nd of June. Monarchy replaced by Republic after constitutional referendum. The 22nd of June. Widespread amnesty declared for most imprisoned fascist collaborators. 1947. The 10th of February. Peace treaty between Italy and Allies, formally signed in Paris. Preface. On the evening of the 12th of March 1945, soon after dinner, there was a knock on the door at a modest house in one of Turin's northern suburbs, Il Terzo Quartiere, home to many of the workers in the city's vast industrial sector. Teresa Arduino was on the balcony with her youngest daughter, 13-year-old Bruna, hanging up the laundry. Her 6-year-old son, Antonio, was in bed, asleep. Outside were 3 young men, claiming to be partisans, and wanting to be put in touch with a fighting brigade up in the mountains. They were invited to come in. The Arduino family were well regarded locally as long-term members of the resistance, fighting the Germans and the fascists, and Teresa's husband, Gaspare, a socialist and steel worker with Fiat, had been arrested 18 times for his political sympathies. Teresa helped train young men and women serving with the urban partisans. Il Terzo Quartiere was a stronghold for the resistance. In the kitchen were Gaspare and Teresa's 2 older daughters, 19-year-old Vera, who had a job in a sweet factory, a young woman who took life and her role as eldest child seriously, and who worked for the resistance carrying messages between the headquarters of the partisans in the city and those hiding in the mountains, and Libera, 16, who, when not at her own job in a mechanics factory, helped the families of imprisoned partisans and regularly gave blood to the Red Cross. With them that evening was another young partisan, 24-year-old Rosa Gizzone, who, like the Arduino sisters, was a staffetta, a runner, a courier, a transporter of weapons, a guide. Rosa was pregnant. Her husband, Libera's fiancé, and another partisan, had just arrived to move Gaspare to a safe house, on the grounds that he was in increasing.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?